Controlling inflation. Normally, Central Bank of the country is tasked with controlling the inflation, and it does so with monetary policy. Certain fiscal measures are also taken to control inflation by governments. Monetary measures. Credit control. One of the important monetary measures is monetary policy. The Central Bank of the country adopts a number of methods to control the quantity and quality of credit. For this purpose, it raises the bank rates, sells securities in the open market, raises the reserve ratio, and adopts a number of selective credit control measures, such as raising margin requirements and regulating consumer credit. Monetary policy may not be effective in controlling inflation if inflation is due to cost push factors. Monetary policy can only be helpful in controlling inflation due to demand pull factors. Demonetization of currency. However, one of the monetary measures is to demonetize currency of higher denominations. Such a measure is usually adopted when there is abundance of black money in the country. Issue of new currency. The most extreme monetary measure is the issue of new currency in place of the old currency. Under this system, one new note is exchanged for a number of notes of the old currency. The value of bank deposits is also fixed accordingly. Such a measure is adopted when there is an excessive issue of notes and there is hyperinflation in the country. It is a very effective measure, but is inequitable, for it hurts the small depositors the most. Fiscal measures. Reduction in unnecessary expenditure. The government should reduce unnecessary expenditure on non-development activities in order to curb inflation. This will also put a check on private expenditure, which is dependent upon government demand for goods and services. But it is not easy to cut government expenditure. Though this measure is always welcome, but it becomes difficult to distinguish between essential and non-essential expenditure. Therefore, this measure should be supplemented by taxation. Increase in taxes. To cut personal consumption expenditure, the rates of personal, corporate and commodity taxes should be raised, and even new taxes should be levied, but the rates of taxes should not be so high as to discourage saving, investment and production. Rather, the tax system should provide larger incentives to those who save, invest and produce more. Further, to bring more revenue into the tax net, the government should penalize the tax evaders by imposing heavy fines. Such measures are bound to be effective in controlling inflation. To increase the supply of goods within the country, the government should reduce import duties and increase export duties. Surplus budgets. An important measure is to adopt anti-inflationary budgetary policy. For this purpose, the government should give up deficit financing and instead have surplus budgets. It means collecting more in revenues and spending less. Inflation affects countries as well as individuals' economy, and so controlling it to moderate levels is important.